social media can look a certain way. It might seem like I have it all together, but there are sometimes I just feel like I'm not managing anything well. Welcome to the Empower Podcast, where wellness meets real life and empowerment becomes your way of being. I'm your host, Sam. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. So by the time this airs, it will be the first week of November. And there's so much happening right now while I'm recording this. We are like 2 weeks out from November since recording this and a lot going on. So just a few updates. So we are moving next week into the new house. And I'll be honest, I completely forgot how much goes into moving. Like between Ian and I too, just making sure that we are ahead of the game, trying to keep up with the kids' work while packing everything up in time to be out by closing is a lot. Oh my goodness. I feel like the last time I moved, it was just the boys and I, and not as many things, but also we were moving to a smaller house. So we were kind of like downsizing in a way, which with this new house, we are upgrading to 5 bedrooms, so a lot more space for all of us. And we're really trying to take the opportunity to kind of like weed out everything, which is the nice part of moving. I feel like you can kind of go through your house, be like, what do we need to get rid of? What do we need to keep? So being able to like clean out everything is really nice. But in the midst of all of that right now, and then also tapering for the marathon, which is nice. So less mileage, but making sure that we are prepped and ready to go for the marathon. And just like, oh my goodness, by the time this airs, like I said, we will have moved into a new house and completed the NYC marathon. So a lot going on. I feel like the holidays too can just like bring a lot. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about this week, I was like, you know what? I just need some girl time. Some girl chat, connect with you guys. So I thought it would be fun to do a Q&A. I popped that on my Instagram, got so many good questions. So let's get started. Are you ready for the marathon? Okay, so yes. And hopefully by the time this airs, I will have a great story on how it went. I mean, honestly, last year when I went to support Ian when he ran it, you can't compare anything to it. Like the energy of the NYC marathon is like unlike anything. There's hundreds and thousands of people, like every step you take the entire way. So it's like you're constantly getting that motivation. The other marathon I ran was the Nashville Marathon, and it was not the St. Jude one, not the rock and roll. It was another one in the year that wasn't as popular. So by mile 17, when I was running, there was like nobody in sight for a good like 8 miles. If you have ran a marathon, you know, like the last 10 miles, you need all the motivation you can get. So when I didn't have anybody to like cheer me on, I had to find that motivation from within. But the NYC marathon, I mean, it's just constant motivation and people shouting your name and holding up signs and, you know, gels, water, electrolytes, like everything is there to help you keep going. So I think it'll be really good. And from a time perspective, I've gotten a lot of questions on what I'm hoping to aim for. So to be honest, I'm putting less pressure on like PRing. I really just want to run this marathon with Ian by my side and finish it without stopping, obviously. But I think if I can aim, if we were to put a number, aim for like a 9:45 mile, I think that'd be pretty good. So we will see where we're at. But yes, I am feeling ready. I've been following my marathon plan. So that's a 16-week training program. I have been lifting right now about 3 to 4 times a week versus what I normally lift at, which is more like 5 to 6, just because I was lifting a lot more in the beginning of training for the marathon and my legs were so heavy. And I was like, okay, I know I need to scale this back. So listen to my body, changed it up to about 3 to 4 times a week. And the running is so much easier. I just feel lighter, maybe have lost a little bit of muscle mass, but when you're training for a marathon, like it's a whole different beast. I have said that before. You might lose some muscle mass, but we'll definitely work on gaining that back once the marathon is complete. But I'm really excited. I'm really ready. got my outfit all picked out, and it should be a really good time. How is the wedding planning going? Wedding planning has not taken off fully yet. I think we both have agreed that we want to have a wedding. We were kind of talking about, okay, do we want to elope? Do we want to just go to the courthouse? Like, what do we want to do? And we have talked a lot about it. And I think it's going to be really special to have a wedding. I think part of us thought, okay, well, we've already done the wedding before, right? In our prior marriages. So we kind of were like, maybe we shouldn't do that. But, you know, something I told him is our love story deserves its own wedding as well. And if that's something that we want, like, we should do it. And I think it's really special too, like having the kids involved. We want them to be a part of the wedding as well. So I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, like hundreds of people. I think we'll probably keep it small, maybe less than 100, and find a location that we both love. We are thinking right now, which this might change, but desert vibes, just like very neutral, minimalistic, just a really pretty outdoor space where we can just be out in nature and have a beautiful wedding. So we have not set a date. We are thinking probably fall time of next year, but I think once we move in and after the marathon, I'll have more updates. What is your go-to meal you could eat on repeat? Your girl loves breakfast. I think because it's so easy to like hit your macros with breakfast when it comes to high protein. I mean, eggs and egg whites. But if I could plate it, I would say 2 eggs, half a cup of egg whites, which I honestly eat every single day. I love sourdough toast with butter, honey, and cinnamon. Grass-fed butter to be specific. And then yes, honey and cinnamon on top of the toast. And then some type of like sausage or turkey bacon or even like ground turkey, some kind of protein with some fruit on the side. Like, I just feel like that's such a well-balanced plate, but it's easy to make. It's all whole foods. And I eat that every single day pretty much, unless I'm like out of town. But yeah, I don't like stray away. I could honestly eat that every day. Ian and I both joke around how we could eat breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and not get sick of it. Are you watching any good TV shows? So we are. What's funny is that we are not huge TV watchers. Ian will watch the news every morning, but I don't know, with like my personality type, I kind of get like overwhelmed when there's TV on in the background just because I feel like I have so much going on. It's so hard sometimes to sit still and focus on a movie or a TV show. But we do love like comedic shows that are shorter. So one we have been watching together at night is Chad Powers, starring Glenn Powell, which is funny because everyone says Ian looks like Glenn Powell, which I definitely see it. It keeps us laughing, and it's short, which is nice. So it's like short and sweet. If you have things to do, you can watch it and then scratch it off the list. How often do you weigh yourself on a scale or the Hume scale and not freak out when you see the weight go up? Okay, I think this is really good to answer because several years ago, I used to be the type that I would jump on the scale every single day and can 100% fully say with confidence, I had an obsession with the scale and it did not create a good relationship, because if that scale went up, I would get anxiety, right? And restrict the next day or be like, I need to go work out extra hard. And obviously if it went down, I'd be like, oh yeah, great. But it really controlled my day-to-day emotions, and it got to a point that was super unhealthy. Having gone through nutrition school, now that I'm a personal trainer and I just kind of understand the body better, there's so much going on that we need to take into account when we jump on the scale, especially as a female with hormones in our cycle. It is completely normal for your body to retain a little bit more weight throughout the month, depending on where your cycle is at. I mean, it is completely normal for you to go up and down 3 to 5 pounds. Like, that happens when it comes to just more volume, when it comes to blood flow, water retention. There's so many different factors. So for me personally, and something that I really try to tell all of my clients to do, is jump on the scale no more than 1 to 2 times a month. For me, I'm really trying to maintain my body comp. So I'm just doing about maybe 1 to 2 times max, but normally once. Like, I think the best time to jump on the scale is right after your period ends. Like, that 10-day mark into your cycle, I feel like for me, that's when I appreciate those body comp stats the most and I feel the best. And so for me, I'm going to listen to that, jump on the scale then, and I can kind of see where I'm at to maintain. But I would say no more than 1 to 2 times. And if you are about to start your period, like it is completely normal to feel a little bit more bloated, more water retention. So if you can go in knowing like, hey, this scale might look different and I know my body is just preparing for, the start of my cycle, and you can have that mentality and be okay with that, then do it. Tell us about the new house. We need more details. Okay, so without giving away like location and all of that, it is in Franklin, where I'm actually from. We have lived about 15 minutes outside of Franklin, and we are just gonna be closer to the kids' schools, my parents, Ian's parents, and just kind of like the city life, if that makes sense, which we're excited about. We'll be able to walk to like lots of coffee shops and shops in general and just kind of be closer to things. So I think when it comes to a traffic perspective, like that will be nice. And then the house itself, we are really excited about it just because it has more space. I think Ian and I both working from home, we wanted a space where we can work from home, but also do other things that are part of our daily life, like recording this podcast. I'm going to be building out a podcast studio in the house, which I'm so excited about. I'm also going to be building a home garage gym. So expect so many more workouts. I'm going to share on stories, obviously in my app. Like I'm really excited about just creating more content when it comes to the gym itself. But I think from a time perspective, it'll save a lot of time, like driving time, right? Like to and from the podcast, to and from the gym, things like that. It will just make more sense. But when it comes to the house itself inside, like the aesthetic, you guys, it's so beautiful. And I'm really excited for the kids just to feel at home and us create this new chapter together as a family. Now that we're engaged, we'll be able to kind of like take that next step, which I'm excited about. But it's a 5-bedroom house. And what's cool is on the main floor, you have like your kitchen, we'll have the podcast studio, obviously like the gym, a living room, and then there's going to be an office space. Then you go up on the second floor and that's where all the bedrooms are. So, well, 4 of the 5 technical bedrooms. But we have our bedroom, the boys' bedroom, Reagan's bedroom, and then there's going to be a little like living space there, a rec room, if you want to call it, and that's going to be like the kids' space. I told them, I was like, hey, the first floor where the living room and kitchen is, like that's where mom's going to film. We want it to look pretty. You guys do whatever you want on that second floor. And then on the top floor, it's a cool space. It's a bedroom, but it also could be like an office if you want, or I don't know what else you can make it, but it's almost like a little built out attic. So we're trying to figure out what we want to do with all the space. And I'm totally okay at this point knowing it's not all going to be done immediately. Like I'm definitely the type of personality, and I'm sure others can relate listening to this. I want it to like all be done day one, decorated, furniture, and that's just not going to be the case. But also I think it will be fun to be able to take you guys through the process of building our dream home and making it the space we want. So it's gonna be really fun. Okay, ladies, you know that hormones and hormone changes can be wild, whether it's postpartum, going through a stressful season, or just navigating the natural shifts that happen as we move through those different stages of life. Energy can dip, sleep gets thrown off, clothes can feel tighter due to ongoing stress and high cortisol, mood shifts. Listen, I have been there. You've been eating clean, working out consistently, doing all the right things you know you should do, and still feel like you're not at home in your body. That's exactly where Joy and Blokes came in for me. Guys, I was in the thick of it. After a year of not having my period, I got my period back, and thanks to Joy and Blokes, it gave me real validation that my body was healing and finally getting the support it needed. It all starts with lab work. I chose the comprehensive panel because I love having as much data as possible. And once your results come in, you meet with your provider to go over everything together. I love my clinician. She's kind, knowledgeable, and actually listens. No rushed appointments, no being dismissed. From there, you decide what the next best step is. Maybe it's one simple lifestyle shift, or maybe it's building a smart supplement pack based on exactly what your blood work shows you're missing. Either way, they meet you where you are and the care is completely personalized. And the convenience, they've literally thought of everything, including the option to have someone come to your home to do your blood draw. That alone makes such a difference if you're juggling a million things like me. Once your plan is in place, everything is seamless. You're not hopping from site to site trying to figure out what supplements you need. Your custom smart supplement pack is built for you, delivered to your door, and your provider is just an email away if anything needs tweaking. If you haven't listened to my episode with Katie, one of the founders, give it a listen. It's one of the most downloaded episodes for a reason, because so many of us are craving that feeling of being in sync with our bodies again. And right now you can save 50% off all lab work and supplements with the code SAMCFITPOD. SAMCFITPOD. Just head to joyandblokes.com to get started. Test, don't guess. When your body's supported from the inside out, everything else starts to click and you deserve to feel like yourself again.
So here's the thing. The holidays, it's the season of joy, but it can also be the season of falling off track. And that's why this year I'm keeping my energy, focus, and strength up with Puri Creatine Plus. It's one of the most underrated supplements for women's health, and Puri combines pure creatine monohydrate with taurine to support muscle recovery, brain energy, and overall performance. And here's the best part. It's not just for bodybuilders. Women of all ages can benefit, especially since studies show we naturally have 70 to 80% lower creatine stores than men. And every batch of Puri Creatine Plus is third-party tested for over 200 harmful contaminants and certified clean by the Clean Label Project. You can even scan the little QR code on the bottle to see your batch's results right on your phone. I take mine every day, either with my amino acids or my protein coffee, and it helps me stay strong, focused, and grounded, even through all the holiday chaos. So go to puri.com/SamCFit and use the code SamCFit at checkout for 20% off. The code even works on their already discounted subscriptions, giving you almost a third off the regular price. Great deal. So don't wait. Try Creatine Plus today. Clean, science-backed supplements that you can actually trust. Go to PUORI.com/SamCFit and use code SamCFit.
Okay, next question. If you only have 30 minutes to get a workout in, what are the amount of exercises, sets, and reps? If you're wondering this, I would love to have you in my app because I have so many programs that you can follow where I literally just tell you what to do. So it makes it easy. And a lot of my workouts I like to make around that 30-40 minute mark because I myself am not the type of person to be in the gym for like more than 45 minutes. Like I want to be in and out, make the most of my time. And I quite literally will tell you, hey, here are how many sets you're doing. Here's how many reps. Here are the exercises. So I lay it out all for you and show you the video format. So you're not wondering like, what's the proper technique and form? I'm literally on video showing you how to do the exercises. So would love to have you in my app. I will put the link in the show notes. But I would say if you are at a hotel or maybe you're at home and you're just like, I want to get a 30-minute workout in, you guys, I love a good EMOM. So an EMOM is every minute on the minute. I know I've talked about it before, but it's basically where, if you're doing 30 minutes, you could pick 5 exercises and do 6 rounds of that because you're doing one exercise every single minute. So say it's 5 exercises, you're doing 10 reps of each. So you're doing goblet squats, you're doing hammer curls, you're doing reverse lunge, you're doing push-ups, and then you're doing Russian twists. Every minute on the minute, you're going to start a new exercise. When you're done with the reps, so 10 reps of goblet squat, you're going to rest the remainder of that minute before you move on to the next. So 5 exercises, you'll be doing 6 rounds, which will equate to 30 minutes. But do not underestimate it. You will feel the burn. But I love my 30-minute EMOMs where you can hit full body. And it's kind of fun too because you can pick exercises, but I also have a lot of one-off EMOMs in my app too that you can follow that are really good. But if you are at a hotel when it comes to gym equipment, I say 4 sets and 10 reps. That's something that I always feel the burn with. I feel like it's a good number. Obviously it depends on the exercise, but I feel like you can't go wrong with 4 by 10. That's just kind of, if I had to pick, that would be it. What are your favorite running shoes? So I have a lot linked to my LTK when it comes to all things running. But I will say my favorite long distance running shoe is the Puma. It's the Nitro Mag Max, but quite literally feels like a cloud. There's so much support. It just feels really good. And I have not had any kind of like blisters. I mean, no feet issues. It's just very comfortable shoe. And then when it comes to race day shoe, I actually ran the NYC marathon in the Hoka. It's the Rocket X3, and they're very comfortable. I always say on race day, like if you're doing a half marathon or a marathon, carbon plated is definitely the way to go if that's something that interests you. It's just going to help with speed and everything's going to feel a little bit easier, but that's something that you want to take on race day only. I think it's obviously good to have a training run to kind of get the feel of the shoe, but you don't want to do carbon plated while you're training. So I would say the Puma, Nitro, Mag Max for long distance running is the best. What are your favorite healthy or better for you desserts? Ooh, my favorite topic. Okay, so I love any kind of healthy dessert and I kind of eat the same things. I am a creature of habit. I have a lot on my Instagram. If you go through my reels, I'm sure you can find some, but I kind of use the same ingredients, right? Like peanut butter, cashew butter, dark chocolate, sea salt, almond flour. I really like to incorporate protein powders. So I have a ton of desserts when it comes to higher protein, healthy desserts. But if I had to say like store-bought, you know what I've been loving lately is the True Fruit dark chocolate covered blueberries. For me at nighttime, I just want a little bite of something. And I feel like the True Fruit chocolate covered blueberries are just absolutely delicious. Another thing that actually got a lot of comments when I posted was my What I Eat in a Day a couple weeks ago. I posted a dessert of the s'mores bites. So at Sprouts, and I think you can find it online too. I think the brand is called Toonie Moonies. They have a marshmallow cream and the macros are actually pretty legit and it's pretty clean ingredients and tastes like like the marshmallow fluff. I forgot the brand, but it quite literally tastes just like that. And I'll put some dark chocolate chips on top. Then I'll take the Simple Mills Sweet Thins and dig in. And I'm just telling you guys, get ready. It tastes amazing. Biggest tips to build muscle while maintaining low body fat. So lucky for you, like that is my entire brand, right? We talk about getting toned, getting lean. And to me, that really is working on body recomp. And that entails building muscle while lowering body fat. So how are you going to do that? I mean, I could go on and talk about this for hours. But at the end of the day, there's a few things that you want to do. I would say first, it starts with nutrition. So you want to make sure that you're hitting the right macros. If you don't know where to start, I'm a macro coach. I can help you out. You can find a macro coach elsewhere, macro calculator. You want to make sure that you are in a slight caloric deficit, but high protein, right? That way you can build that muscle, have full protein synthesis with what your muscles need to get stronger and rebuild. But you also want to make sure that you're hitting other macros to lower that body fat percentage. Coupled with that, I would say find a progressive overload program, 6 to 8 weeks, and just be consistent with it, right? You're doing the same exercises week to week, but you're mastering and perfecting the technique and the form, which, you know, when you are playing around week to week with the intensity, the sets, the reps, you're going to be challenging your muscles in new ways, which is going to, inside the muscle, break apart those fibers. And with the right nutrition and recovery, they're going to grow back stronger, which is going to help build that muscle mass. So it's a few different things. Nutrition, right? High protein diets, making sure you're in a slight caloric deficit to help you lose that body fat, paired with a good workout program, and then consistency. I think a lot of people just give up too soon when it comes to body recomp. And one of the questions on here is, how long did your body recomp take? It took me a good solid 10 months, but it was 10 months of, you know, not quitting. And obviously you're going to have good days, bad days, and that's okay. Like I don't finish a whole week of workouts and be like, oh yes, every single one was amazing. Like there's a lot of times in the middle of my workouts, I just don't want to be there. Like that's just part of it. But I know walking out of the gym or walking out of my workout, I'm going to feel so much better and know that it's helping me get towards a goal. So that's what keeps me going. So you got to be consistent. How do you avoid kid treats and snacks in the house? Help. I have had a lot of questions like this, especially around how do you not eat your kids' food? Like, what do you do? So when it comes to the sweets and treats, I would say find healthier treats that you love that are for you, that you can meal prep in advance to when you do feel tempted to get into all the kids' treats and snacks that maybe you don't want, you can reach for those meal prep snacks instead. So for me, that's going to be stuffed dates. You guys know, if you've seen my Instagram, I love stuffed dates. I like to put grass-fed butter, cashew butter, some sea salt, dark chocolate. But for me, like, that gives me what I need to help like satisfy that craving. So like if the kids are going to eat a sucker or do their ice cream or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, this doesn't fit within my macros, but I'm still craving something, I can reach for that. So I would say meal prep something that you like that's going to give you that satisfaction so you're not as tempted. What are good ways to heal my skin? And then in parentheses, they put acne through my gut. So I actually have a whole episode with the ClearSTEM founders where we talked about all things acne, skin, how that can be tied to nutrition and the foods you're eating. So go back and listen to that episode if you are interested. It's really good. But I would say two things they said, both Danielle and Kaylee, that really do trigger acne when it comes to nutrition is dairy, eggs, and whey protein. So I would maybe play around with cutting those out. The best way to do it, anytime I work with clients too, is to kind of cut things. You can do it a couple ways. You can cut them out one by one and kind of see if it goes away, or you can cut everything out, give yourself a few weeks with nothing, and then slowly add back in one at a time, whether it's whey protein, eggs, dairy, or any other food that maybe you think is contributing, that we can kind of see if it's that or not. How did your exes react to the engagement? Ooh, okay. So my ex, actually, he congratulated me. So that was really nice. And, we have like a really great co-parenting relationship, which I'm very thankful for. And then we have not heard from Ian's. So not sure. Do you think that you guys will want to have a baby of your own? I think it just depends on where life takes us. I think that we're very excited for this next chapter of our life and kind of focusing on the engagement and the wedding. And I think that we both would love to have a baby with each other if it makes sense when it comes to timing, but we'll both know. And I think we're both okay too if it doesn't happen. If I had to put a yes or no, I feel like yes. I think we're both kind of on the same page, but ultimately it's God's plan and we'll see when it comes to his timing. When is the next program coming out? So November 17th, and I am stoked. You girls are going to love this. I'm also going to be having the biggest Black Friday sale, like the biggest sale of the year on my app. So if you have been thinking about joining, now is the time. It's going to be so good. So check my Instagram for updates. I know I'll also talk about it on the podcast, but it's a program that I put a lot of thought into. And I'll give a couple hints because y'all know me, I can't do surprises. But it's going to be dumbbell only, progressive overload, and we're going to be focusing on lower body, which I feel like is perfect for wintertime. So if you want defined legs, defined booty, build muscle overall, drop body fat, this is a good one for you. Will you be doing another macro count guide? So yes, every single month I open it up once a month and I post all the details on my Instagram. I have a whole story highlight. I do that the last Tuesday of every single month. And I only open it up once a month just because it's me doing all of the counts by myself. And I want to make sure that I'm giving enough time and attention to anyone I'm doing a count for. So it just makes it easier that way to limit the quantity. But I love doing it. I love hearing your stories and creating those numbers for you guys based on where you're at and what your goals are. And like I say, it's an amazing tool. Like macros, it's something that you can pull out. You don't have to track every day, but if you feel lost, it's a great place to start.
Staying hydrated is one of the most simple things we can do for our health, but also the easiest to overlook, especially when you're training hard or trying to recover. And here's something wild. 3 out of 4 US homes have toxic chemicals in their tap water. Even though it looks clear, it could still contain contaminants leading to fatigue, hormone disruption, and even cancer. And those fridge and pitcher filters, yeah, they barely make a difference. And that's why I switched to AquaTrue. It's a countertop water purifier that uses a patented 4-stage reverse osmosis system to remove 84 contaminants, including chlorine, lead, forever chemicals, and even microplastics. No plumbing, no installation, just clean, pure water I can actually trust. And I've noticed a real difference, you guys. Clear skin, better hydration during my workouts, it tastes better, and faster recovery after. And when you're training to build lean muscle or just trying to stay consistent, quality hydration matters. AquaTrue has been featured in Business Insider, Popular Science, and even named Best Countertop Water Filter by Good Housekeeping. And 98% of customers say their water tastes cleaner, safer, and healthier. Head to aquatrue.com now and get 20% off your purifier using promo code SAM. AquaTrue even comes with a 30-day best tasting water guarantee or your money back. Take the guesswork out of pure, great tasting water with this exclusive podcast only offer now at aquatru.com using promo code SAM. So we just moved into our new home, and the first thing I wanted to make feel complete was our bedding. And there's something about fresh sheets, that soft lighting and little holiday glow that just makes everything feel warm and peaceful. It's like the season is finally slowing down. And that's exactly how Cozy Earth makes me feel. Their bedding, you guys, is truly unmatched. It's made from viscose from bamboo. It somehow stays cool, soft, and unbelievably cozy all at once. It's like climbing into a 5-star bed every single night, let me tell you. And if you're searching for that perfect holiday gift, Cozy Earth has you covered. From their bamboo pajama set that sleeps degrees cooler than cotton to the bubble cuddle blanket, it's one of our favorites. And right now, Black Friday has come early. You guys can stack my code SAMCFIT on top of their site-wide sale for up to 40% off. And these deals will not last long, so start your holiday shopping today. And if you get a post-purchase survey, mention you heard about Cozy Earth right here. Wrap the ones you love in luxury this season with Cozy Earth.
How do you blend parenting, business, training, and self-time? A lot of you guys asked this. So here's the thing. Social media can look a certain way. And I am very much so about bringing a positive mindset to my social platform. But here's the thing, guys, like it might seem like I have it all together, which I try to the majority of the time, but there are sometimes I just feel like I'm not managing anything well. I mean, that's just the reality of life, especially right now when it comes to the move and the marathon and just like all the things going on in personal life. But for me, one thing that I have found is structure. I had talked about this before, but I want to keep talking about it because it's so important. I think if you can time block and kind of write down like to do of all the different areas you have going on and look at that every single day, like that'll make such a difference. Ian, he's the one that actually kind of pushed me to get a huge whiteboard. So we have like a whiteboard on wheels and we write down everything. Like I have different segments. So I'll have like one-on-one coaching, Empowered by Sam, my app, podcasts, and these are all like in buckets, social content, the brands I work with, and I have like my to-do in every one of those buckets. And every single day I kind of look like outside of the box, kind of look at it all and see what I need to do. And as things go, I will cross things off the list, and just being able to like visualize it really helps me. So I would say if you feel lost when it comes to balancing it all, prioritize. And when you ask yourself like, oh, what needs to be done first? Like what's the easiest task that you can knock off the list, right? But if you feel overwhelmed, I think self-care is so important. Like start the day with 5 to 10 minutes by yourself, whether that's meditation, whether that is going on a walk, whether that's just making yourself a nice cup of coffee and sitting outside. Self-care looks different for everyone, but I think having time to kind of like set up your day is going to help you balance it all better. I also feel like we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help because it can be a lot when it comes to balancing parenting and work and self-care and working out and training. And, you know, if you have a partner or if you have a friend or a parent that can help you out, ask. I think that's something that I had a hard time doing until the past few years, is asking for help. I wanted to feel like I could do it all myself, which Ian's really helped me with that, knowing that it's okay to ask for help. And so if there are days where I feel like, maybe I need the kids watched while I work out, or can, like for instance, today we're selling some furniture on Facebook Marketplace, and it was on my to-do list to have pictures taken just on my phone of all the furniture. And I asked him like, hey, can you do this for me? And then send me the pictures, like little things like that. Just asking for help sometimes, it just relieves a lot of stress. Are you carb loading pre-marathon? Yeah. So we are going to eat some Italian the night before the marathon. We are running for the Navy SEAL Foundation. So with the rest of the group, we are eating at an Italian spot, and I will probably keep it pretty bland. Like I don't like to eat anything too spicy or too heavy or rich, but definitely going to get some noodles in and still get protein, fats. I still like to keep it more of a balanced plate, but definitely add in some extra carbs. I'm really excited. Do you cycle sync? I am curious how you handle your health and fitness during your period. I adjust things during my period, but I don't like do anything kind of crazy. I try to make a deload week fall on my period. So a deload week is basically where if you're following a progressive overload program or any kind of program, like you normally have a deload week every 4-5 weeks. So I try to make that fall on the week of my period, just because it's usually lower intensity, right? You're doing 2 sets of these exercises normally, less weight, kind of going more through range of motion. So it's like less stress on your body. So I try to do that. If I don't line that up perfectly, I always try to scale back. Like I'm not going to lift as heavy, but I'm still going to move every single day. And the biggest thing for me is drinking a lot of water and getting my steps in. I also try to do a lot of sauna work. So sweating out everything for me really helps. And while I'm on my period, I also like to fast a little bit longer. So at night when I'm sleeping, like you fast every single night, right? When you sleep, I try to make it more of like 14 to 16 hours versus like 12 to 14. Sometimes it's 10, depending on what my training looks like. But the week of my period, I kind of like to fast a little bit longer. I would like to add creatine to my routine, but I'm nervous of the water weight. So I have talked about this before, and it's something that I get asked about all the time. And I completely get it, right? Because there's that fear of creatine of, oh, it makes you gain weight. It'll make you bulky. And here's the thing. In all reality, what creatine is doing is it is taking basically water from your body and sending it to your muscles. So when you are consistent with it, especially in the first 2 weeks, like you will appear fuller because your muscles have more water. So it might give you a quote unquote bloated or more puffy look. I have found personally, and with a lot of my clients, that your body kind of gets used to it and levels out. I think it'll say, okay, what is this supplement, creatine? What's going on? And it might take a couple of weeks for it to adjust, but your body is smart and kind of balances it all out. And here's the thing, your body naturally creates creatine on its own. You also get it from foods like red meat and fish. So you are getting creatine. It's just with a supplement version, you're going to be getting more than what your body makes or what you would get with red meat and fish alone. With any type of supplement, when you add in, like your body might have to get used to it, but it's a naturally occurring compound. And there's a lot of great benefits to it. I think for me, the biggest thing I've noticed is increased strength and performance in my workouts and cognitive benefits. Like there's so many great studies that show it makes a positive impact on neurological health. What are the best supplements to lower cortisol levels? So I would say before you think to go reach for a supplement, I would say what are some things that you can do from a diet and lifestyle perspective to help with cortisol levels. So I would say first thing when you wake up, because that's going to be the biggest indicator and impact on what those cortisol levels are going to be like. Because when you wake up, they naturally rise, right? We just don't want them to rise too fast or too high. And we don't want them to stay there all day long. So I think having 10 minutes of stillness to center your body, to ground your body, maybe that's a walk outside on the grass with no shoes. Maybe that's doing some red light therapy, maybe just sitting in stillness, saying affirmations, whatever you have to do to center yourself and just feel grounded. Like that's going to really help relax you. I would also say if you feel like you have high cortisol and you're drinking coffee first thing, try to stay away from that. That is not going to help the situation. Instead of coffee, I would maybe reach for a large cup of water with some lemon, some sea salt. I love Redmond sea salt, and about a fourth of lemon juice squeezed in, and drink that. Like, that's going to be so good for your gut. And maybe eat something before coffee just to help kind of stable everything when it comes to your cortisol. Like, that'll make a huge impact. Then if you're thinking, okay, maybe some supplements as well to help, ashwagandha at night, so many great benefits. I would also say one supplement I really like, Thorn, has a really good adrenal complex that you could take. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm just saying this is what I have seen work for myself and other clients. But at the end of the day, our goal is to reduce adrenal fatigue and any kind of stress on the body. So I would try to implement all of those things and see if that helps. Is it bad to overeat protein? If my goal weight is 125 pounds and I'm eating 150 grams of protein, is that okay? So yes, I would say the only drawback to eating too much protein could be digestion, right? Protein, depending on how much you've been eating. Like if you're going from eating 60 grams of protein a day to 150 grams a day, like your body and gut might be like, oh my goodness, okay, we're trying to digest this. It might be a little bit harder. So your body has to get used to that. And then making sure that you are saving enough space for other nutrients, those macronutrients like carbs and fats. So if you have certain macros you're trying to hit, say, X amount of protein, X amount of carbs, and X amount of fats, and you're going over on your protein and not having enough carbs or fats, if that makes sense, that might be the only other drawback. But I think if there's any macronutrient you could go over and really not worry about, it's going to be protein. As long as you're staying within your caloric window and it makes sense for your goals, do it. Like for me, I weigh 130 pounds, but I'm getting in 160 grams of protein a day right now. What is a healthy body fat percentage range you recommend for women who want that toned look? So I think when you say toned, like what we mean is being able to see that definition, right? From building lean muscle mass, reducing body fat. I would say 18 to 22%, I think is healthy for your average everyday woman who wants to see that definition. A lot of the times, guys, it's the muscle is there, right? If you are strength training and being consistent with it and have been doing it for a while, and you're like, hey, I'm not seeing definition, it's usually because your body fat might be a little too high. That's why I say, jump on a scale that can show body comp stats like Hume Health, or get a DEXA scan. That's going to be like the most accurate. It's going to show you a really great picture of where your muscle mass is at, where your body fat percentage is at. And then you can kind of use that as a baseline to work towards your goal of maybe lowering that body fat percentage. On the flip side, I think that you can go too low if you're not careful. I think for me, I am living proof of that. A couple of years ago, I went really low. This was a few years ago, but going through a divorce, running a marathon, maybe not fueling properly the way that I should have, my body fat got down to like 11%, and I lost my period because of it, right? So I think that like 14%, 13% is that threshold of where there could be some big hormonal things that could be impacted that we want to be wary of. So I think a healthy body fat percentage is 18 to 22%. For me, if I'm not doing any kind of crazy intense training, like my body naturally sits at 18, 19%. And that's where I think my body's like safe body fat percentage is at. Please share more on your content creator journey and how to not feel embarrassed starting out. I actually have a whole episode that I recorded a couple months back on starting your business on social media and kind of where I started out, tips on that journey. I would say overall, like just start and have the mindset that any followers that you have, even if it's like 3 followers, like pretend that's 300,000 followers, right? And they're all asking for some type of value that you're going to provide. A lot of it is mindset because it can be so scary. Definitely can feel embarrassing. I completely get that. I was there in the past. You guys want to know something funny? I've never said this, but oh my gosh, do I even want to say it? I'm going to, because it's real life. You got to do what's going to work. When I first started out and I only had a couple thousand followers that were mainly my friends and family, I would do Q&As, and I wanted to share like everything I had learned in nutrition school and, about personal training and the body and body comp and all the things. And so I would post a Q&A of like, ask me anything. And like, I wasn't getting any questions back. And so I would ask a friend just to like put in questions. So I would have something to answer, right? And so it's like, you got to manipulate some things and just have confidence and move forward and do the best that you can do with what you're given with confidence and just push through it. Like, I know it's easier said than done, but go back and listen to that episode. There's so many good like tips and tricks in there that hopefully will be helpful for you. Okay, so last one I'll do, your beauty secrets. You have glowing skin. Well, thank you. Okay, so there's a few things that I think help there. For me, good skincare is everything. I know I've said this before, but ClearStem, Complexion, those are like the two brands I really love. I'll put the links in the show notes, but I have so many products from them. And just like with nutrition and working out, like you have to be consistent when it comes to skin as well. So I try to be consistent when it comes to exfoliating, right? Like 2 to 3 times a week, making sure I'm doing a mask a couple times a week, making sure that I'm moisturizing. Like that's a big one. I have like neutral to dry skin. So I try to make sure that I'm moisturizing as much as possible. I also love to gua sha about 3 times a week. I do the ice roller almost every single day when I wake up. And that's just going to really help with like the lymphatic system right underneath your skin, which really helps like, tighten the skin. So many great benefits. And then also this one, I might get a little bit of heat for, but I love the sun. Like I love the sun. I think the vitamin D can be very healing for the skin. Obviously, if, you're in it too much, it can have some negative effects, but I think a little bit goes a long way. Okay, well, that was so much fun chatting with you guys. I love doing these Q&As. I always feel like you guys are in the room with me. And yeah, it's just fun to chat. So I will definitely do another one of these soon because by this point, we have moved into the house. We have ran the marathon. We are about to launch a new program and getting ready for the holidays. So we'll have to catch up again soon. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. It really helps us grow and bring you more great content. See you guys next week.